combining IT and BT actually is not a wonderful thing as far as I'm concerned, simply because the original idea of bringing biotechnology with IT was that BT could leverage on IT, and IT actually doesn't give a damn whether BT comes along. But it's been counterproductive. Biotechnology is often viewed in the same metrics as how information technology moves, and yet they move at very, very different paces. The dynamics are very different, the underlying assumptions are very different. So, in my view, bringing them together, for one, it doesn't care, the other one, it hurts. So, keeping them separate actually benefits biotechnology. I would call it hospital-associated infections rather than hospital-acquired, because we honestly don't know where the acquisition happens. Probably some home environment. However, what happens is in the typical hospital environment, patients are already immunocompromised, so they are more susceptible. So there is a higher incidence of infections, and the environment in the hospital is such that the selection for resistant organisms actually happens even more there. So there's a more concentration of the resistant bugs, and as a consequence, typically hospital-associated infections have a much higher incidence of antimicrobial resistance. And so today, where we are looking at some of the worst statistics of AMR actually come out of hospitals. And it's such a sad situation, because hospitals where you go to get treated, you get cured, and this is actually the opposite of what happens. So the whole view of best practices in the hospitals are today gearing up to look at management of infection in all aspects of treatment, right? Not only people who are coming in with infections, but if you're going in for a diabetes management, you want to make sure that the infection is also in the focus, simply because the resistance rates are quite high. Very high, in fact. I work with 2 tertiary care hospitals in Bangalore, and it's sad to say some of the drugs that we've commonly been using for the last few decades, the resistance rates are upwards of 90%, which means these are gone, right? We do not have the arsenal anymore. What it means is it's death warrants for the patients, and that's a very sad situation.